Hello, welcome to another Unwrapping. This time it's Fawlty Towers on Blu-ray for the first time. Now I've previously bought the DVD, so I'll be looking through that one as well, see if there's any main differences. The one thing I'm wondering about is whether it's been any further censored, because even this one was censored from the original. There's some quite, well, let's say near the bone, even some racist things. There's a bit where the Major was talking to Basil about when he had this girl once and he took her to see India at the Oval. And that's still in there. And his wallet got nicked or something. But then he goes on from there, a couple more paragraphs, which isn't in any of these, and is really quite... I think your mouth would probably open in this day and age. Think, God, did that really go out on telly? But, you know, in the 70s and 80s, they're you know, like Mind Your Language and all these sort of things. There were some bits. But anyway, it's not in these anyway, so probably irrelevant. You might be able to find it on YouTube. There was a Channel 5 thing that I saw it in, which was about dodgy bits that had been taken out. Because my Frank Spencer's, there's bits that have been taken out of that as well. Anyway, let's have a look. So it's on Blu-ray for the first time. It's 3 discs. Let's have a bit of a close-up there, in case you wish to pause. It says DTS, Blu-ray. Now, of course, there was studio and there was outside. I think the outside was on 16mm that the BBC seemed to favour. I guess they were quite small cameras actually, 16. Probably a lot cheaper as well, obviously. Shame they weren't 34, but you know, there we are. So I'd imagine that the outside bits, location bits, because quite often they filmed outside the hotel quite a bit. Hopefully they'll all be cleaned up. But you always get this contrast. You get it with Blake 7, you get it with a lot of BBC stuff where the outside filming and the inside filming, it doesn't gel because of the difference in colour saturation and just the overall quality and light and everything looks so different on film than it does to on these big video cameras that they used back in the day. So it sort of makes it feel a little bit more unreal. But you know, I guess they had a budget. Couldn't afford to do everything on film, hence they bought these great big video cameras which had these sort of great big recorders that were up on a sort of separate level where a lot of the staff were, and they had to shout down or radio down to a floor manager to direct and things. It's all very like that in the BBC. Anyway, so let's see how different this is. Also, it's a little bit smaller than the other one. For the first time, the complete season. Oh, we do get a booklet. Right, I'm glad about that. I'm not scratching the disc. Just using the friction. Part of my OCD, if you want to call it that. Just like things to face me. You, sir, face me. There's a Sontaran. Excellent. So, it's quite an odd print, really. In fact, it looks like an old style of printing. This it looks like the 1970s. I got to say, when it first came out, I didn't see it, and I remember seeing an episode on Jim Will Fix It. Well, not an episode. Someone wanted to meet Manuel, and I remember the boy it was, and he came up behind the counter, Manuel, and talked to him. And I thought, well, what's all this about? And then I watched it after that because I hadn't heard about it. As quite often was the case, we didn't watch telly all the time, and there's only a few channels. Anyway, let's have some close-ups of that so you can have a read if needs be. I wonder if there is anything different, because this other version has got a bonus disc as well. So I'm imagining probably not much different. You never know, they might have a featurette looking back, mightn't they? Let's just see if it mentions that in here. No. So it's going to be a very much playing and find out. Special features. Audio commentaries with John Cleese, Series 1 and 2. Audio commentary with Howard Davies, Series 1. Audio commentary with Bob Spiers, Series 2. 2009 interviews. That tells me it probably is just the original one. Interviews with John Cleese, Andrew Sachs, Prunella Scales, Torquay Tourist Office, no, that's definitely on that one. Cheap Tatty Review, Outtakes, Bonus Booklet and an Easter egg. I don't think, unless the Easter egg's something special, I don't think that it's really any different other than quality wise to this one. And of course that's the thing with DVDs. Let's just zoom out a bit. That's the thing with DVDs, less storage. But you see, it's a nice presentation, the DVDs, with you know, all the episodes and chapters behind each disc. That's a nice way of doing it rather than having just a blank. And let's see if this looks any different. Of course, it's slightly bigger. Ah, no, it's different. Okay, so here we go. You can have a look at the May Wish to Pause. I was humming and hawing about changing this because I haven't played it for a while and it's quite often on telly anyway. But in the end it dropped to $19.99 and I thought, oh, okay, I think I'll do it now. Well, there we are. So that was just a quick look at the new and the not so new. Doesn't really say what the special features are on this one. Oh yeah, it does. Exclusively John Cleese, Prunella Scales, Howard Davies again, Bob Spiers, that's the same artist profiles. So it does our Torquay Tourist Guide. It doesn't say Cheap Tatty Review. That's not on here, unless it isn't. It's not printed on the back. Outtakes is on here. Bonus booklet. Well, we thought, haven't we? Easter egg. So the Easter egg's not on this one. So maybe there are just a few things then that are different from the DVD. Anyway, that's that. I quite like that presentation. That, you know, like that opening, and that's a nice presentation. It's better than this because you don't get anything in the back. I always like as much detail as you can get. And of course I can't put the old booklet in there because it's a different size, so let's hope it's just better quality and it's worth going for. If it isn't, I'll leave a comment, but as usual with these things, I normally am quite impressed with the quality difference, even if the video's just upscaled like with some of the Doctor Who ones these days. But you get so many extras with the new Doctor Who ones, it makes them worth having. I've just been watching a tribute to Sarah Jane Smith on the last box set I did a review of, and that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So there we are. So that's Fawlty Towers out again. I guess it'll come out on 4K and then 8K and then a holographic block or whatever the next thing is after that. But for the moment, there we are. It's Fawlty Towers. It's not on 4K. It is on Blu-ray for the first time. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.